Welcome, I'm Rebecca and I teach people how to use natural and empowering tools and techniques for health and well-being. Those are predominantly focused around the brain-body system and how that works in relation to its primary function. What is its primary function? Well, the primary function of the brain and the body are to keep you alive. So they work together. The body is a vehicle for you to live your life, and it needs the brain to be able to send messages back and forth to keep you alive. And obviously, there are some parts of how that works, how that symbiotic relationship works, that happens kind of under the radar or subconsciously, such as breathing and your heart rate. And there are other things that require more conscious effort. So in this short video, I'm going to be talking about the brain-body system in relation to life in general, and the things that happen, the events that happen in our lives, or the thoughts that we're thinking, or the things that we're doing, what we're eating, what we're putting into our bodies. Nothing specific in terms of those things, but in relation to your brain and your body's responses to those things. So what I wanted to share today really was about the brain-body system keeping you alive and keeping you safe. Because if the brain-body keeps you safe, then it manages to keep you alive. So there is an alert system, which you'll hear in some of my other videos, which switches on. Actually, it's on all the time, but it switches on and puts you into survival mode as opposed to thrive mode. And that's when the system either senses danger, sees actual danger, or perceives danger. So perceived danger is, it might be to do with your senses, but it might also be to do with the thoughts running around your head. Oh, this isn't safe, this isn't safe, and all of that kind of thing. So, and the body protects when it perceives danger, actual or real. It goes into this kind of contractive state. I digress slightly. So the purpose of this video is to show you how the brain-body system manages stuff. So I'm going to use the glass as an analogy for your body. So this is your vessel. This is your container, the container of you, your vessel. Everything else is inside. It's in your brain. It's in your body. It's inside. And then what I'm going to use is some water to demonstrate stuff that happens in your life, stuff that the to-do list, what you've got to do, thinking about this, thinking about whatever, a conversation that you had with somebody that you're thinking about from the past, or that you're worrying about in the future, or that some sort of event that you were a part of or even witness to. So all of those kind of go in your container. They go in your container in a couple of different ways. Obviously, they come in through the senses, and they go into your brain, and they also go into your body. So your body keeps the score. Your body holds a memory. So what happens is that if we don't have enough time to process whatever it is that's happening, then it kind of gets stuck, because the body holds on to it, and the body goes, oh, I'll deal with that later. I'll sort that out later. I'll just pop it here, or I'll pop it there, wherever it happens to be. So it gets stuck and it gets contracted. So there are a couple of things. Sometimes when that happens, and when that happens systematically over a long period of time, we end up feeling strong physical sensations that are uncomfortable, and that can develop into illness. When the brain-body system actually goes through and recalibrates and comes back down to a kind of set point, a still point, then we're ready to go again. But what happens when it doesn't, when you've had an argument and it hasn't been resolved, and then you're worrying about money that you've got to pay because your mortgage payments have gone up, for example, and that's it. And so the stress levels rise and rise and rise, and what happens is this. So that's the argument, for example. Didn't get resolved, you still got it, you can feel it, it's in your body, your brain's still talking about it. You haven't resolved it, either within yourself or with the other person. So that's that. Here you've got, oh my goodness, the extra payments that you have to make for whatever reason, whether it's your mortgage or whether it's your bills or whatever it happens to be. You've got something else that happened. Somebody shouted at you when you were driving down the road, and they beat their horn because they felt that you hadn't done something, and you were kind of a little bit like this. Every time that this fills up and doesn't go down, your brain-body system has a heightened awareness of danger or perceived danger or safety, lack thereof. So day to day, stuff is happening, something else happens, something else happens, something else happens. And not to negate the good things that happen, but if we're not processing this stuff, the stuff that overwhelms your system, your brain-body system, that has one purpose: to keep you alive. And part of that is that it needs to keep you safe, because if you're not safe, you might die. You might not continue to live in this brain-body system, and that's what it's set up to do. So that keeps filling up and up and up, and we're going to get to a stage where, hey, what happens? So we've still got a little bit of meniscus on there, actually. It's doing really well, but you can feel that. So that's a visual representation of that kind of moment before it goes into overwhelm. I'm just going to do it drop by drop. It's doing really well. The brain body works really like this. We really hold on. We're okay, we're okay, we're okay. And suddenly, really angry at somebody or really irritated and trying to keep it in. We keep going. And what happens is it starts, I don't know if you can see that, it starts to pour out. Starts to pour everywhere. That's the system in overwhelm. The system cannot manage when it's this full. It's got no capacity. It needs some capacity. So a lot of the tools and techniques that I teach allow some of this to move out of the brain-body system in a natural, easy way to do that, so that there's some more capacity to cope with just day-to-day stuff. Because there's always day-to-day stuff. There's always going to be a phone call, a letter, a bill, one of your children who's fallen over and needs something, your mum or dad who needs some help with, their computer, whatever it happens to be. There's always going to be something. So every time you use one of these tools, then you are creating capacity. Creating capacity. When you do it regularly, you're always going to have some stuff there, right? Always going to have some stuff there. But now, you got this much capacity, which means that your system, your brain-body system, is much better equipped to deal with the letter that's dropped on the doormat, or the phone call that you've just had, which you weren't expecting from somebody, which gave you some unexpected news or the aches and pains that you've got in various parts of your body. So it allows you that expansive feeling to manage in a day-to-day sense. So hopefully that's been helpful, and do check out some of the other videos in whatever order you want to. It really doesn't matter. And if you've got any questions, just drop me a line.